letting go is language that is so often used in the spiritual world, or perhaps maybe even psychotherapeutic worlds, and it's been around for a very, very long time, and I've heard it used for as long as I've been on this journey. And I've always wondered about it, actually, because how do you let go? How do you really let go? And what does letting go even really mean in many ways? So if I were to think about the places where I would want to let go, they're around things that perhaps I don't like about myself, or trauma that I'm holding, or the wounds of my beautiful inner child, but I don't know that we ever let go of any of that. I think that what happens, and certainly my experience is guiding me to understand that it's not so much about letting go, it's about changing our relational field with it. And so if I start to love that part of my wounded child, that part of my child who feels abandoned or rejected, or whatever emotion might be arising in your woundedness, and I start to befriend that part of me, then the response to it changes. And in there isn't no need to let go, because when we've kind of dealt with the wound that's underneath the need to let go, we are just there with it somehow. We can just sit with it, we can be with it, and it changes its strength, it changes its power, and it no longer can plague you because you've met it underneath it. We can also meet letting go in other ways as well. So we could meet letting go from the perspective of, I don't like this part of me, but actually this part of me is me. It's part of me, and maybe I can learn to love this part of me and not feel the need to let it go. And what I know is that when we meet our emotions and our difficult feelings with love and care and tenderness and kindness and acceptance and equanimity and all of the other responses and reactions that could come around that, it changes its form. And when it changes its form, there's actually nothing to let go of. So that's another way of looking at it. And then there's also the idea that all of us have what could be described as black holes. And those black holes are those places that we go into when we don't feel worthy, when we feel hurt, when we feel unloved, when we feel not accepted, when we feel not seen, not heard, all of the kind of basket full of unmet needs that we all seem to carry. And I think that what we learn to do over a period of time, when we start to do this level of inner work, is we stop drowning in the black holes. And so my black holes haven't gone away, but I can walk around them and not fall in them. Or if I do fall in them, I can get out of them much more quickly. And sometimes my foot dips in them, but I can take my foot out of them because I'm aware that that black hole is there. And so, just from a visual perspective, for those of you that are visual, that was super helpful for me when a therapist worked with me around my black holes and just sat with me and said to me, your black holes will always be there, lovely. They'll always be there, but you'll learn how to not fall in them and not drown in them. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. And after that, I kind of cultivated a different relationship with my black holes. And your black holes are nothing more than your wounds, than the deep core wounding that we all hold inside ourselves at, a greater or lesser extent. So these are all opportunities to just find different ways of navigating and sitting with ourselves with kindness, with love, with care, with equanimity. And I tell you, when you do that, it's so much easier. Life feels so much better. We're so much freer. And wouldn't you all like that? So comment below, tell me about your black holes, or you don't need to tell me about what's in your black holes, but does that image work for you? Does the idea that you don't have to respond to things, does the idea that if you could meet your pain differently, perhaps it would transmute itself into something more less painful for you? So I'm here to help. Anyway, if you want to come and do sessions with me, you can book with through the website lovefromjyoti.com, or just comment here and just let me know what you think, how you feel, what happens to you, and what help would you need, what would be useful for you in taking this journey to meeting yourself in a different way. I'd love to hear from you.